we will continue the practice of using an Excel sheet. Last time we had a very detailed Excel sheet that we have shared with you. And most of these videos that we have done is already being uploaded to our YouTube channel. So you can go to the TechShoe YouTube channel and you'll be able to see most of these videos being uploaded there. So you can view those videos. We do very in-depth. We don't do too many videos and we don't, much of a promotion and etc. But these are all high in-depth, advanced level digital marketing concepts, whether it is a CAC, LTV, full funnel optimization, etc. So it will be very interesting for you to go through this and get your concepts clear from a practical purpose. And today we will be discussing in the same line, and all of these URLs will be available to you. And these URLs were already shared. We will be sharing this again, and we can take this. Yeah, so we have just started. So we will be sharing all of these URLs as well with you so that you can go through it and take it up. And similarly, today, we will be using another spreadsheet to go through the budgeting aspect of it. Okay. So let's take it one by one. Okay. So once again, good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for joining in today's session. Today, as we discussed, we will be talking more about the budgeting part of it and how do we look at budgeting? Where do we start? How do we start? And so the first view about budgeting is to look at a top view. The top view is that you have a revenue that you will be having, which is basically last year's revenue, or based on the last year's revenue, you have a certain projection that I want to achieve a certain revenue this particular year. Now, there can be startups who may not have a yearly projection, but they may have a monthly projection, quarterly projection. So in that way, when you look at it, you certainly, if you spend a little time, you will have either a projected revenue or you will have a revenue based on your previous year or based on the projection of the previous year. Example, if you have achieved 100 crores last year, so you will be expecting, say, 120 crores this year. So if you have achieved 1 crore last year, you might be expecting 120 crore, 1.2 crores, or you might be expecting 1.5 crores. So depending on what stage of business you are and what type of business you are, you will certainly have some level of projection like that. But if you are a startup and you're growing at a much higher pace, you will say that, okay, probably I want to grow 5x. And on a month-on-month basis, I will have a certain target to achieve. That is also possible. But overall, when you want to look at a budget, and especially an yearly kind of a budget, you will start with what is your total revenue projected or revenue targeted or the revenue of the last year. Based on that, generally what happens, you will have a operation cost that and these are all coming from unit metrics. And in order to understand this, you will have to go to this discussion that we had, and you will have to go to those videos and try and understand how to calculate the unit metrics for your business. Many a times businesses do this mistake that they come up with a cost without taking the breakup of the cost. And in that breakup, marketing and sales is a big breakup in itself. That normally you will have 20-25% added to the marketing and sales. And in some of the categories, even it will be 40%. In some of the categories, it might be 2%, 5%. Different industries will have different benchmarking. And we have discussed this in detail in our last videos and etc. So I don't want to go again to this, but I will certainly recommend, if you have doubts and confusion, you should go to our previous video and look at the digital marketing playbook that we have done, which is a full full funnel optimization. We have explained all of those things in detail, and we have a separate video for CAC LTV as well. So please go ahead and see it later so that you get an idea. So for an assumption perspective, I'm assuming that your operation cost is 55% of all revenue, 5% is others, and you want to keep a 20% of the profit. Then you are left with 20% available for any kind of, or 25% available for all of the marketing related activities. Okay. So in this case, we have 20% available for all the marketing related cost, marketing and sales. Okay. So is it not audible? Am I audible to others?
Yeah, to me, you're audible.
Okay. So maybe Shafi, you might be, there might be a speaker issue at your level. So please go ahead and check it. Okay. So, when we look at the total revenue that you are projecting. So you will be dividing this into this following percentage, and thus you will be left with a certain percentage for marketing and sales. Now, this becomes a big dilemma for digital marketing. Why? Because digital marketing, the word marketing is attached to it. Now, most of the businesses will have this query that this is coming from a marketing budget or this is coming from a sales budget. And like if you look at an FMCG category, you will have a marketing budget of around 5 to 7%, but you will have a sales and distribution related activities like taking care of your distributors, assigning this, and a lot of activities. So you'll have another 15% allocated to that particular area as well. So now digital marketing falls under sales or digital marketing falls under marketing. The truth is that it falls under both, because you will be creating a brand awareness also, and you will also be generating some leads and sales. In some categories more, in some categories less, especially if you are into any kind of a B2B high consideration category where people will fill up the lead, then digital will be a major source of lead generation as well. So thus, the budget that you will be taking for digital will come from both. It will come from marketing and it will also come from sales. And this is one of the biggest discussion point. And because whenever you go to the market and says, what is your marketing budget? So people will say 5 to 7%, 6%, and etc. But if you say, what is your marketing and sales budget? Then you will get a different number. Then people will say 15, 20% is our marketing and sales combined together is our budget. So now out of this, what will be the contribution of digital that you can look at from your own industry perspective, your own size perspective? So what I've done here is, so let's assume that the total budget for marketing, total budget for branding means I'm creating awareness, I'm creating a brand recall, I'm creating a, whatever brand I have in the market, I'm creating a brand refresh, or I'm trying to reposition myself so that when people will think about that category, they recall my name either as a top of the mind recall, or they recall my name and go to the shop and purchase. And that will also result in some level of purchase, but it is through a brand recall. It is not through a click or not through any of the advertisement being seen and people are buying a coupon and coming to you. So it's primarily because of the brand recall. So that's why we spent a certain amount of budget into brand. And in certain industry, brand-based buying is the highest, and in certain industry, brand-based buying is not the highest. Again, for this, I will request you to see our previous videos. We have explained different ways that people buy in different industries. So accordingly, you will have to understand that where I should be investing my money into. So if it is branding, and we have included branding and organic cost also. Organic means I'm generating a pull towards my business. That is also an investment which will have a long-term result, not a short-term result. So this, let's assume that I have a 5% of the budget. So what I've done is, this Excel sheet will be available to you. So you can also do all of this calculation, etc. So for the time being, I've just added a number here. I can reduce a number here, and automatically all of these numbers will also change. Okay. So I've said if it is a revenue of, 10 crores, or if a revenue of, 1,000 crores, everything can change accordingly, and you can change these percentages. And I've also mentioned these percentages in yellow, so that if you are an SME, what type of percentage you should be looking at. If you are a large company, what type of percentage you should be looking at. So accordingly, you can change those percentages as well. Okay. So that will help you in taking a better decision. So within that 5% branding and 15% sales, I'm just assuming that this will be a case from any of the consumer durable perspective. So if this is the case, then under that 5% that is given to digital for marketing, the budget that is given for marketing, under that, what will be for digital? So in today's context, there are companies, currently the industry standard is 30%, because today we are standing at a 30%, but there are companies which have gone up to 50, 60, 70%. When it comes to SMEs, it will be 80%. When it comes to startup, it will be 80%, because you will have the highest result coming in from digital, because you don't have the ability to spend for mass media, because ATL is a mass media. Most of the activities that you'll be doing will have a mass reach. Targeting a niche is always difficult in those kind of channels, and thus you will go to any platform or any possibilities which can be a specific niche targeting. It can be an event which can be target niche, which is non-digital related activity, or a pamphlet distribution in some areas, or some kind of BTL activity, which is very specific to a particular area. So you will be able to do niche in certain channels only. You cannot do a niche on a news channel or a newspaper. Those are mass medias, and doing a niche becomes very, very difficult. Even the niche within that is generally very broad. You can certainly do some kind of magazines and all of those things, which are again very, very difficult to get any ROI very clearly visible, but there can be very good magazines as well, which can give you good results. Okay. Yeah, so industry wise, again, I will not be able to give you the numbers in this particular discussion. But in our previous discussion, we had given you a lot of perspective, how to check it, how to go to some of your competitors, look at the percentage that they are spending the money and etc. So there were a lot of discussions on industry. So I will certainly request you to go through our previous videos to get an idea on how to look at industry-wise this specification. Broadly, if I have to give you a perspective, broadly in service industries, you will have a sales and marketing cost somewhere like 20%. If you go to an FMCG kind of a category, you'll have 5 to 7% in terms of a consumer good kind of a thing. You'll be spending around 5 to 7 to 10% into marketing, and you'll anywhere spend 10 to, and all of these videos are available in our YouTube channel. We have uploaded all of these things on our YouTube channel. Okay. So in a FMCG kind of a category, 5-7% will be on marketing, and then around 10-15% will go into your sales oriented activities. Again, it will be in the range of anywhere between a 15 to 25% is the range. But in certain categories, like if you look at real estate, so real estate might spend very little on marketing, and generally they will, when I say marketing, brand building kind of an exercise during their launch. A real estate will spend relatively a big amount of money for that marketing, and then later it will be, all of the money that you're getting, it's 2% goes into sales related activities, and then if you extend it, it can be 3% kind of a range, 2 to 4 kind of a percentage will be there, and a small percentage is given to marketing time to time. And if you go to a very luxury kind of an item, which is having very high margins, so the sales and marketing will go up to 40-45% as well. So you can, in different industries, those percentages are there. And we have discussed about these things in relatively longer length in our previous videos. But again, these are all you can do. There are two ways to come to this. One way is you can take an inwardly view, and the other one is you can take a benchmarking from the industry. And benchmarking from the industry becomes relatively very difficult, because even those people are trying to assume it, get it there, and etc. And we have done benchmarking for many of the industry based on whatever the data was available. And thus, because many of our customers do ask that how much is my competitor spending on digital, where are they spending, how much is the distribution, and etc. So whatever data is available, we collate it and we kind of give them a perspective. But easier is that you can do an internal calculation, and you can say, okay, if I'm earning 100 rupees, what goes into operation, what goes into others, what is the profit that I want to keep, and then what is left for me for sales and marketing, and how much I should spend on sales, how much I should spend on marketing. Marketing means I will have a, when I say marketing, brand building exercise. So I will have a long-term result. I will not get a short-term result. And I've also defined what is a long-term, what is a mid-term, what is a short-term from these conversation perspective. For us, the short-term is generally a quarter, a month kind of a place. Sometimes it can extend to 4-5 months, but you will generally get your ROI within that short term. That is what we mean by short term. And generally the mid-term, we try to keep it somewhere like within a year. And this definition can change from different perspective. And in today's context, we have kept it like short to be within few months, and mid to be within a year, and the long to be more than 2 years plus. So in certain other definition, we might keep short to be within a year, mid to be 1 to 3 years, and long to be 3 years plus kind of a thing. Because many of the branding exercise that you're going to do, your returns will only come from long term. But some of the sales investment that you're doing, you can actually see the value of that sales coming in 3 months, 4 months period, so that you can calculate an ROI associated with that. Okay. So that's why we have given this definition also. So within this, let's say you have a marketing budget of 5%. Within this, what you will be spending on ATL, what you will be spending on BTL. ATL is mass media related activities in a broader sense. BTL is niche related, engagement related, local related, etc. All of those things, you can put that into a BTL kind of an activity. So then whatever is left is given to the digital marketing. As I said, different people will have different level. And today we are anywhere over 30% in most of the cases. In certain rare cases, it will be lower. And many of the businesses have gone over the 50%, even in the large categories. That is what we are seeing. So depending on what is your strength, weakness, etc., you can define this mix as well. And then when it comes to sales, you can again take a call saying that, okay, I have a lot of dealers, distributors, networks, etc. I need to do a lot of activities with them. So maybe I'll keep 70% here. I might keep 30%. So we will also add for SMEs, large and startups here, the percentage that should be there. But when it comes to SMEs, startups, mid-level companies, you will not have so much of offline activities from a sales perspective. Most of the sales might also come for digital as well. So that ratio will be different to different people. Okay. So this is the first level. That is how much of your total projected revenue or revenue based on, the target or the previous year's revenue, the percentage which is given to marketing and sales. And within that, how much is going to go for marketing, which when I say marketing, branding related or organic related activities, which will give you result in relatively longer period of time, and what will give us the result in a shorter period of time, that will be associated with sales related push. So, and again, whenever we say all of these things can have some exceptions here and there, because these things are multi-dimensional. So whenever I say long-term and short-term, there can always be certain sales that might take longer period of time to sell it, certain marketing activity which can give you a shorter period of time. But from a viewpoint, brand related activities generally will have a long-term result. Okay. And whereas sales related activities will have a relatively short-term result as well. So that is how the distribution will happen. Okay. So is the first part very clear to all of you? Any queries on this? Where do you start with your top level view? How much budget is actually available for marketing and sales? Within that, how much is available for marketing? How much is available for sales? That is your starting point. Okay, good. If there are no queries, then what happens is, then we will take up the rest. Then now I know that this much of budget is available for my marketing for digital, and this much of budget is available for my digital related sales. Okay. Now, as I said, the digital, comes into both sales and marketing. So that's why you'll have to take budget from both sales and marketing as well. Otherwise, you are generally strapped with the budget, and the businesses will expect a lot from you, but the budget that will be given to you is very little, because most of your budget is coming from marketing, because of the word marketing being used in digital, whereas actually we should be saying digital marketing and sales. So then we should get the marketing budget and sales budget also to digital, because the digital is enabling both the things. It's not only enabling the branding related activity, but it is also enabling the sales related activity as well. Okay. So from here, you get the total budget which is available to you. Now, after that, these are the components that are required. Okay. So components will be how much money I should be spending on brand refresh. So what do you mean by brand refresh? It is that you have already all of this, manpower, costing, incentives, everything will come under these budgets there. Okay. So generally what happens is sometimes the cost of the people, which is very small, can go into operations. Sometimes this can come into the sales related cost. So different companies calculates it differently. So if there is a sales team, sometimes the sales team's cost also goes into this particular area. Sometimes the sales cost and all the company's salary cost comes under operation. So this is based on your accounting, that how well you will be able to account. For me, a sales team's cost also can go into sales. A marketing team's cost will also go into marketing. So that is all, including their incentives and everything associated with that. Okay. And generally, incentives you give after making a profit and etc. So in that way, what happens is, if they are making more than what you are assuming, then the incentive goes, and thus the incentive will contribute very small deviation for your calculation, you can leave that variability in terms of incentives if that is causing a problem for you. Okay. Now, within this, then, as I said, brand refresh is a very critical part, is that you have already built a brand. And when I say already build a brand, that people are aware of you, people recognize you. And then if you don't go in front of them, there is a chance that they will forget you. So you have invested in last 4 years, 5 years, you have done a lot of advertising, you have done a lot of, activities, and now you have become a name. People remember you, people recall you. Now, if you don't go to them, they will forget you. So that is why you need to invest a small amount of money, even if you don't have a huge amount of money to build a repositioning or go to new people. But with the existing people and existing brand that you have, just do a brand refresh that can certainly sustain you. And plus, when you do a brand refresh, you also get sales out of it, because some people who were not remembering you to that level, the refresh happens and they start remembering you a little more, and the recall based sales happens because of that. Where the serious problem happens is when you do this brand refresh with very high frequency. For example, I don't want to name some of the brands in this webinar, but you will be seeing it, that you are seeing some advertisement too many times. Okay, so when you see an advertisement too many times, your decision is not going to change. But if you are seeing an advertisement during this brand positioning and recall too many times, then you are building that frequency and you are building a remembering or a recall. But later on, once I'm already there, I can get a frequency of maybe 4 times in a quarter, or maybe 2 times in a month is sufficient for me. Just be in front of them, and this frequency can be achieved through social media posts, through social advertisement, through YouTube advertisement, through display advertisement, or emails, multiple ways that you can be in front of those people and just have a refresh and a recall that is sufficient for you. So you may not want to spend too much money there. So you can allocate certain percentage. So for this category, I've just mentioned a 5% for marketing related. And since this also impacts the sales, I've distributed 5% to the sales as well. Then the second category that happens is brand positioning and brand recall building. So if you're a new category or if you're a new brand in a category, then people may not remember you. People may not have a top of the mind recall, that whenever they think about that category, they may not remember you. And also what you need to look at is, do you really want that? So many of the companies that we work with, some of them have, all of these files will be available to you. Like the previous files we have shared, this file will also be shared with you. Okay. There are companies that we work with where they have very large budget, and they can reach out to the complete all India audience, and they can go with a frequency of 3, 4 in a quarter, maybe more also, and we can build that. So they will be ready to spend a good amount of money and to do those kind of reach. But we also have companies which are competing in an all India basis, but they don't have the budget to reach out to everybody. So in that case, what we do is we take a small location, and within that location, we will create a very high frequency. So we will go with a 17 frequency, 18 frequency during the brand building time. And then we'll try to create a awareness in that particular category, awareness in that particular location, so that more and more people can come to know, and especially the right audience. So we will, if you have, say, 90 million people in that particular state, we will then make it some reduce that audiences. We will go to a sub-segment, and maybe from 90 million, we will bring it down to 10 million, 20 million, that these are the best audiences that we have. And within the 20 million or 10 million, we will go with the frequency of 10, 15, 20 during that brand building process, where we will be coming up with a campaign. We will reach out to them, build a recall, build a positioning. And then once that is established, because it is just new, so after a quarter, we will do one more campaign. Maybe towards the end of the year, we'll do one more campaign. But the next year onwards, we will shift to the brand refresh rather than building the brand. We will take up next city, then we'll go to the next city. So depending on how much budget is available, sometimes this is done all over India. But if you have a lower frequency, so if you take all India audience and you're only going with a 2 frequency or 3 frequency there, so neither it is going to build the brand, nor it is going to create any kind of an awareness, which is going to result anything good to you. So you need to be very cautious when you're spending, and especially the SMEs. I have also mentioned here. So when you are a SME, you should go with very limited audience. And even if you're a startup, you should go with very limited audience. For example, if I'm doing a brand building exercise for TechShoe, I will be taking like currently we have around 16,000 audiences in UK and 14,000 in India, or vice versa. So we have that kind of an audience set, and we just do brand building with them. So that means whatever budget is there, we will do certain frequency and we'll reach out to those people only. We will not go to anyone beyond it. So that is how we do a sharp shooting, and that achieves our purposes. We don't need anything further than that. So that is why you can take niche, especially the startups, SMEs. Often whenever we talk about brand, because we come from a mass media, we always think about mass brands. But the word brand from a business standpoint is that whenever they think about the category and whenever they think about a sales related to that category, is your name coming on the top of their mind? Are they familiar with your brand or not? Are they trusting your brand or not? So these are the outcomes of this. So if you are able to achieve within a particular audience, you are able to achieve the purpose of the brand, not that you will be compared with a Nike or a Coca-Cola and etc. Those are mass brands. Their TGs are mass, and thus they will have to work differently than you, whose audience is niche, or maybe audience is limited and budget is limited, kind of a thing. So that is the second category that you'll be spending. So there is a question by Gaurav: is this sales percentage in money spent on sales activity or revenue earned from sales of product? No. So this is the revenue. This is the total revenue that you have mentioned. So within that revenue, you are saying that 5% will be my, because here we have taken 100 crores. So that's why it's looking pretty big. So if I make it to 10 crores for easy calculation, okay. So then I have if I have a 10 crore budget, then I have some 50 lakhs available for marketing and 50 lakhs available for marketing, and then 1.5 crores available for sales. So total, I have 2 crores available for altogether all the marketing. And out of this, I have 75,000 available for brand refresh. I have 25. I'll also come to this, that how do you look at this particular number and how can you improvise this number? So there can be, again, I'll come back to this after finishing this. So all of this number is the budget that is available for this particular bracket. Okay. Seminar is going very high level. SME require other information. Yeah, I mean, this is broader. So again, whenever you are attending any webinar like this, your job is not to understand everything, and your job is not to understand and take an action immediately, but to understand various concepts, be comfortable with those concepts, be familiar with those concepts. You might have to see this webinar 2 or 3 times so that you can make better sense out of it. And we will be sharing all of this file with you. The video will be uploaded to YouTube as well, so that you can go through this few times and get much more comfortable with how can you plan for it. Okay. And then you have various other categories, like I'm creating awareness for sales via paid media. And this is one of the most critical areas. This is one of the best ROI giving activity. People always confuse awareness with brand building and etc. Let me give you an example. If I'm opening up a hospital somewhere, if I just create an awareness and saying that there is a hospital that we have opened in this particular location, these are the services that we are providing, and that awareness will be with people, many of them will remember, many of them will come to the hospital and etc. But if they're not even aware, the loss is very big. But if you just do 2 or 3 frequency and create that awareness, that will give you massive return. And it does not require too much of money as well. Because whenever we talk about branding, we talk about huge budget, huge frequency and etc. etc. So the awareness can also be taken. And sometimes that awareness in itself can give sales. And you should never run away from awareness. Even if you are a small company, startup, if you have an audience of 20,000, I can give you a quick calculation also. If you have say 50,000 audience, and if you want to create awareness among them, so probably you'll have to just spend something like a 10-15,000 to create an awareness with a frequency of 1 or 2. So even if you want to do a 2-3 frequency with 15,000, you are able to reach out to those people, create an awareness with those people. This is as simple as that. So you don't need huge budgets also to create that awareness, provided that audience is available to you. And I will also give you this flow with respect to all of these KPIs so that you can also check step by step activities around it. Now, these are different buckets that are available. So you can do sales, direct sales. That is impulsively, I'm reaching out to people and saying that I'm selling this, I have this product, do you want to buy or not? So these are different categories. Sometimes we do selling with low frequency, sometimes we do sales with high frequency. So let me give an example of it. So let's say if I am selling a t-shirt, or if I am even doing a real estate kind of an activity, I'll take that up, I'll go to people and I will show the property or show the product. It can be admission, it can be anything. I will just show it to people and see whether they have any requirement immediately or not. If they don't have a requirement, they'll not click on it, and I'll not go to them to convince them. So I'll go and knock the door few times and see whether they have a requirement. If they don't have a requirement, that's okay. I'm not trying to convince them. But with a higher frequency, what happens is, say if I'm selling an apparel or a fashion clothing or health related activity, so I go to the people and showcase them, and I showcase multiple aspects of my business to convince them. So that will take me 3 months, 6 months, 7 months period to go with multiple messages and try to convince them that this is a good business to deal with. And then my sales will happen on the 7th month, 8th month, 10th month, because I've done all of this convincing. So that is called high frequency related activities. So when you do these things, you will have to decide, where do I want to invest? For example, in this place, we know that, okay, low frequency will not give us any kind of a result. So we'll be focusing on high frequency. So we invested the sales related money on high frequency. Then there is a research and buy, where people are coming to Google, or people are going to some other place like marketplace like Myntra or Amazon, or any of these B2B marketplaces. Okay, so there also people can go. Even if it is a niche industry like pharma, they might go to Pharma Compass, or they will go to India Mart, or they will go to any of the B2B portal like Moglix and etc. etc. So multiple places people will go and people will search. So when search, they are the end of the funnel. There you will get immediate sales, and there is no reason that if you have done all of these brand building exercises and everything, and why will you not be there in the end of the funnel? So you will always invest certain money into end of the funnel to bring sales out of it and result out of it. So this, you will invest some money, and then certain cases we also spend the brand building exercise at the end of the funnel. Like you are searching for your own brand name and you're putting advertisement there. You can keep some budget, and you should always look at it, what type of people are searching for you, whether this is giving you some kind of a result, and you don't want to give away your brand related result to other people. Okay, so I can give you a few examples here.
We also have 2 questions.
Okay, yeah, I'll take up those questions. Okay,
yeah.
So I'll give you an example of this. That so there is a D2C kind of a brand. Not exactly D2C kind of a brand, consumer goods brand. So they have done relatively good branding. So they're like kind of market leaders, but they don't do anything on the end of the funnel, and they don't advertise. But what happens is, all of these marketplaces, they advertise for their brand name. So if you search for their brand name, all of this, Amazon comes up, or Flipkart comes up. So what is happening is, you have spent the money in creating the brand, and then somebody is putting an advertisement and spending very little money, and they are taking your brand traffic to their page where you are listed, and they take away all of those. They will take 20% commission from you, or 15% commission from you, for a very little advertising. And that is why Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, everybody wants to work with brands. The reason is, they can also take up the brand traffic, and through the brand traffic, they are getting a new customer. And plus, they don't have to spend so much money, because the convincing is already done. The convincing was brand building. And after that, the Amazon or any other marketplace is just a transactional portal. And for transactional portal, you will never like to spend 15-20%. You will like to spend very little of a 2%, 3%, not more than that. So that is why sometimes you have to protect your brand on the research related portals like SEO and Google or Bing and other places, so that your traffic is not going away to somebody else. So these are some reach related activities that you'll be spending. And then you'll be spending something related to building the organic, these are all paid related stuff. So you will be spending something for organic. Organic means you are generating a pull. So some of these activities are rank building. You can build a rank on Google, you can build a rank on marketplaces, you can build rank on YouTube, various kind of activities that you can do for rank building. And then you have utility related content that you are creating something on, say, YouTube. For example, if you go to, if I take an example of, some of these examples, you can take any example. So what I've seen recently is that Ultratech have started. So, if you see Ultratech is investing relatively a huge amount of money in building these kind of videos. Okay, so these are all utilities. So somebody who's going to build a house, they will come and consume some of this content. Again, these are all strategies. But can it be done far better than this? Absolutely, it can be done far better than this. But this is an investment that you can look at it. And the world is going to change from content consumption to content consolidation. So we need to invest very, very carefully into all of these areas. So you have content, utility content that you can create. You can create utility application. And utility application is going to give the best dividends ever. And with the change in the ecosystem, this is going to even give the far better result. Utility application means instead of giving content to people for understanding, you're giving applications to people to make better decisions, or, to do all of those things. For example, the same, if I take an Ultratech example, so instead of giving all of these videos and etc., so there will be an application which can help them budget and help them to calculate, help them to manage their house construction. So that the planner that can be made is called utility, a kind of an application. So today, making those will be much cheaper as well, but the utilities will be much higher because nobody wants to read so much and consume content. They want to take the content and make a decision out of it. And then there will be a huge investment that you need to do for asset creation. Asset creation means there will be some assets that will be creating for photo shoots, videos, etc. And there will be some assets that will be creating like website, app, utilities. And then you need to improve these assets also, whichever is available on tech and advertisement. And then you will create various because whatever you are investing in terms of advertisement, landing pages and etc., you can use that for many, many years. Okay. If not, many, many months for sure. If not, many, many years as well. So this becomes an asset. So you should not calculate the cost of this only for a month. At least for a year, these things are valid. So in maybe 1 or 2 months, you are investing a lot on the asset related activities. And that is where you also need to be very careful how your agency structure looks like, because when you are creating things, you need more investment, you need more teams. Once it is created, you need improvement related activities, extension related activities, regular activities. You don't need to recreate it. So the agency mix, and we have another video that you can go through for agency mix, that how to select your agency mix, how many agencies you need, when do you need what type of an agency. So that is also there, which can also help you to make a better decision. But generally what happens is reach wise, if you see here, so reach wise, it's around 50% coming up here. And if I take that around, in both of these cases, sales and marketing is taking up around 50%, including this. And then here we have added for asset creation and all, maybe around 30% here and around 30% here. And then something to do with enhancers and etc., which is all of the tools that you are using to improve your effectiveness, your conversion rate, and all of those things, that is added as a certain percentage. Now, ideally, what should happen is in the initial stages, you will have something like 50-50 kind of a thing. And later on, this reach will become almost 70% or more. And all of this thing will reduce, will come down to 20%, 30%, 35%. That will be the bracket, because the more reach you do, more result you will get, rather than just being creation. So, but initially, if you spend more on the reach, but if your creations is not correct, then you will reach the people, but you will not achieve the result. So initially spend more on creation of these kind of content and everything, and later spend more in terms of reach. So for example, a company like TechShoe, we don't do too much of outreach, too much of this, because we have to improve our operations a lot. We have to improve our team structure a lot. We need to improve our scalability in terms of people a lot. It might take us 10 years to improve that quality, improve the team structure and etc. But whenever we are done with this, so all of this investment goes into this, but whenever we are done with this, we can just go there and improve our reach, and we will get far better result rather than always spending money over here and not being profitable as a business. Okay, so that is why you have to be very cautious that how you are spending this kind of activities. So there are quite a number of questions. I'll take a few of the questions. Okay. So there is a question by
from Rajshekhar.
Yeah,
it starts from there.
Right. And then you have all the files will be available to you as we keep on commenting. So Rajshekhar says, while doing a campaign, video content or a poster, what's the difference in impact and result of the campaign? See, that is where Rajshekhar, when you're doing any kind of an activity, so since that is a question that has come up, so I will just give you this flow as well. So before starting, because there is nothing called a campaign, there is nothing called a video, there's nothing called an advertisement. You always start with what is the goal of my business from a short-term and long-term perspective. That has to be very clear. Then what you do is for each of the goal, say for example, you say my short-term goal is to get sales. Okay. So for that sales, you will decide that which audience I'm going after. Am I going to big businesses who will buy my things in a bulk, or I will go to a trade influencer who is going to influence that sales rather than going to end customers, because all of these audience sizes are very different, right? So if I go to B2B, my audience size may be 20,000. If I go to trade influencer like architects, engineers, and etc., my altogether category will be something like maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakhs kind of a category. But if I have to go to B2C, you're talking about millions of people. So you will decide this. Then for each of the TGN goal, you will decide which route I should be taking. Should I be going impulsive route? Should I be going end of the funnel? Should I be going, a brand building exercise? So once you have done ABC clear, then what you will do is you will say, I want to reach the people. Then you can take any of, these KPIs and see whether you are getting the reach. So how to look at the impact of your campaign is that if I've decided all of those things, when I go to the market, am I getting impression? That means the audiences are there and I'm reaching to the audience. Are they clicking on my, and I've also given you a benchmarking here. I will add benchmarking for the other areas also so that you have a certain benchmarking as well. So are the people clicking on the advertisement? That means there is an interest on the advertisement. So then is the cost reasonable? So again, I've given a benchmarking here. The cost is also reasonable. So after that, if they're not converting, if they're coming to the website, bouncing back, not converting and etc., then you do some remarketing with some new messages. Then again, check for remarketing, whether this is improving or not. And after you get the leads, so you will look at the cost of the leads, that what is the conversion rate I am getting, what is the cost of the lead, then from lead to the quality lead, what is the cost and etc. So in each of this level, you will be able to figure it out where exactly is the concern. If I have no concern up to the lead, if I only have concern from lead to conversion, so that means somewhere my call centers, somewhere my communication, somewhere my product is not working. So then maybe that is the reason why it is not getting converted. So whenever you're doing, like Rajshekhar, you're saying, while doing a campaign, video content or a poster, what's the difference in impact and the result of the campaign? So you will always look at what is the purpose. If the purpose is brand building, then I will go and try and see whether I've reached the right people, they have clicked on it, they have engaged with me or not. So if I'm getting all the lead KPIs properly, that these all things are there, then I will look at my brand recall. Whether more people are searching for me, I can do a brand survey, I can do a brand health survey. All of those things can be done. And I can look at it, whether there was any impact on the brand or not. Even the people who have come and started purchasing from you, you can do a quick survey with them and try and understand whether there had been any impact of the brand there or not. So these are things that you will have to do for measurement to find out how the, because KPI wise, you will be able to find all of these KPIs, the impact of this. And generally the impact will be at a sales level will be CAC LTV, at a brand level will be the brand search and the brand health score. These two will give you certain numbers. Okay, I hope this answers some of your queries, Rajshekhar. Then Anilesh is asking, results are sales, impact is more related to, so you are answering those questions. We'll be able to release, we will be giving you all these videos and everything. That's not a problem. And the recording will be provided to you. I think the similar strategy was, most of these companies which has become successful, they all have built. And normally in digital marketing, we always jump into channels and advertising and creation, but we don't do this kind of a thinking that where exactly I need to spend. Why am I spending? Where am I spending? How do I look at a yearly view? So all of those things needs to be there. And I'll show you the next sheet also. So that will also give you some more clarity. Okay. Is lead from marketing spend different from the lead from sales? No. So you are investing into marketing and sales. Many a times it will be very difficult for you to understand whether it is coming from marketing or it is coming from sales. And you will look at the top view, and sometimes you will be able to find that, okay, this is, and like anything like direct traffic, brand related queries on search, it can be through PPC or SEO. So all of these things can be a result of brand building exercise. Whereas non-branded keywords, which is giving you traffic from SEO or SEM, is normally sales oriented kind of traffic. And similarly, the outreach program that you're doing on display, YouTube, etc., is a part of your non-branded kind of a traffic. But again, it's very difficult because the person who's clicking on your advertisement may remember your brand. That's why your CTRs are better. All of those things are a bit of a to and fro between marketing budget and sales budget. How B2B marketing would vary from B2C ones. There will not be any different. The percentage that you will be spending here in B2B, what will happen is on the brand building and etc., you will be spending relatively similar money or lower money, but you'll be spending a lot on the sales, and the sales will be primarily driven by digital. And within this, the allocation here will change, and then this whole flow will change, because in the B2B, the buying cycle is very different. So you will have a much longer buying cycle. So instead of always focusing on lead and sales, you will also focus on marketing qualified lead, that you are going to get somebody to your funnel, you will nurture them. So you will go for the MQL and SQL. Probably for B2B related digital marketing, I'll take another session where you can get a clarity in terms of how B2B is very different from B2C when it comes to digital marketing, sales, digital marketing activities, and etc. But the broad philosophy will remain the same. And B2B, you have multiple tools, and I'll not enter into those tools related to it. At an enterprise level, there will be, integrated tools like a Pardot and Salesforce, which will have multiple integration with multiple tools. When SMEs work on B2B, then you, instead of using one big tool, you will be using multiple tools, and there are different levels where each of these tools will play certain roles. Okay. How to isolate and then benchmark these leads as you categorize. That I'm not sure whether we have taken a session or not, but certainly that is an area where you require a full funnel tracking. If you do not have a full funnel tracking, that can be a problem. And what we do at the company level is we do a full funnel tracking, and we create a application called Single Source of Truth Dashboard, where you can find out that which source is bringing you the sale, traffic, sales. So we integrate from the panels like Google and etc. to your CRM. Everything is integrated, so you know that if I'm spending 10 rupees on Google advertisement for this particular keyword, how much money am I making from there? And unfortunately, I'm not ready for showing those kind of panels, and a lot of client data will be there. So I don't want to show that, but otherwise I would be able to share the existing dashboards that we have, which has all of this in a completely detailed view that is available with us. And in fact, I might have a small view about it. So maybe I can just give you a small sneak peek into it, because that is something that is, like for example, here, the single source of truth, how the dashboard, that how it works, how these things are done, etc., how all of these things like Google advertisement going to this and etc. to CRM. So how all of those things comes end-to-end framework. So that is something that can be a discussion for another day, but we do this end-to-end. Without this, you will not know what is working, what is not working, right? So that's the core of it. Okay. Difference in strategy, basically. I'll take up a different session. I hope I've answered most of your queries related to it. And then there are some Okay, yeah, you'll get the recording. And before B2B, I've already explained. Yeah, again, you don't have to look at infographic content creating tools and things like that. You need to think from your perspective that how many times do you look at an infographics and take a decision? What does this infographic video means? So be very, very clear about what you want to achieve. Look at your customers and then based on that take the call. Okay, so many a times we jump into those channels and activities and etc without looking at it. And often we say that digital marketing is very simple, but doing simple digital marketing is very difficult, because you have so many ideas, so many things to do. But actually the best thing, even in the stock market, people say that the best way to make money is just relax, don't do much, and you'll be able to make money rather than doing too many things. Even in digital marketing, once you are very clear about the previous videos, if you see that how your business works, how your customer funnel works and etc, then it will be much easier for you to say that where should I be investing, how much money I should be investing, because you will know where the result will come from there. Okay, so I will quickly go to the other area. So once you have, normally, as I said, between your reach and the creation related activities, you will end up getting into 70-30 kind of a ratio, where 70 will be spent on reach related activities, 30 will be for creation. And even if it is 50, then you will have 50 for paid advertisement, 20 for organic related reach, and 30 for creation. So that is how you will be able to get better result. But the initial stages, please go ahead, spend, if required, spend 70% into creation and 30% into reach, because there is a stage where you are validating. So for validation, you may not require such a huge budget. You will validate it and then you will scale it up later. So after validation, the stage comes scaling. So validation of keyword, validation of different channels. So for that, you don't require huge budget. And once you have validated, you know how to scale it up. So scales have a different KPI, and validation stage has a different KPI associated with that. And hope that also gives you some perspective to it. And once you have this areas more or less fixed, then what you do is, for sales related activities, now you know that you have 45 lakhs available for sales. You know how much sales also you need to achieve. That also you know. And then these are the active broad categories that you have. Then you will map all of the channels which are available here. So for this channel, how much budget you'll be investing. Okay, I've just taken one example here. For example, research and buy, we said we are going to spend 9 lakhs into research and buy related activities, because that is where my customers will be at the end of the funnel. So out of this, then we decided that, okay, 5,40,000 will go into Google, and marketplace advertisement will be 1.8 lakh rupees. Marketplace listing will be 90,000 rupees, and discoverable influencers. So if somebody is going to YouTube and searching for a particular keyword or certain things, at that time, certain discoverability happens. Or somebody is going to Google and searching for it, and some people have listed different companies, and in order to get there listed, so you might have to pay some money. So that is why we call them as discoverable influencers. So influencers are also into different categories. So we call this under in discoverable influencers, because this is a part of research and buy. So that is an area where you will invest. So my 9 lakh rupees, that budget was there. So I know this is the budget that is available. So every month I know how much budget is available for Google. What is the result that I will be expecting from there? Then I can do a media planning. If there is better opportunity on Google, I can come back and I say, no, why are you investing in 9 lakhs here? There is a much better opportunity here. We can go up to 18 lakhs. So then what you will do is you'll come back here and you will say that, okay, this looks better because the market is much bigger. You can invest 18 lakhs here. So I'll give 18 lakhs here rather than giving 9 lakhs. So if somebody comes and says, my market is really big, it's validated, I can spend all 40 lakhs here. So then you can think about it and maybe reduce all of these activities for sales and focus on that area, and you are getting the sales. 80% sales will happen from there. 20% you will use for experimenting and benchmarking in the other areas, and you're surviving very nicely from a sales perspective. And then again, with brand building, you will do the same thing. All the channels, all of these activities are there. Then you will allocate where I'm going to spend the money under each of this bracket. For example, for brand refresh, where will I spend the money associated with it? Will I go to Instagram and Facebook and I do that, probably I'll spend a lot of money here in itself. That will give me the brand refresh. I don't have to do anything else. I'll spend all my 75,000 rupees into Facebook and Instagram advertisement. I will be able to achieve my maybe 65,000 here and 10,000 into remarketing and display. My job is done. So I know I will be able to achieve my brand refresh by doing this. I will be able to achieve my brand positioning and recall by doing this. And then in each of these categories, I have clear-cut KPIs, clear-cut budget, clear-cut number. Then I can enter into the financial year with much more clarity that what is it that I want to achieve? How am I going to achieve it? And this is a lot of hard work. And generally, most of the people in digital marketing will not like to do this much of hard work because it's a, spend a little, do a little. And thus the digital marketing will not realize the potential that it can give to a business. There is also a possibility that digital marketing is limited in that particular category. You may not be able to add more than a certain amount. That's okay, but you should know and you should reach that saturation. So starting point is validation, then go to the scaling level and then go to the saturation level. So if you're saturated in certain areas, that is okay. At least you should know that this is the highest potential that I'm able to reach in digital. And generally you will have a saturation in the end of the funnel. You will have much bigger market in middle and the top of the funnel, and you'll generally never get saturated in middle and top of the funnel. End of the funnel, yes, there can be a saturation for many industries very quickly. And that's where you can squeeze in. So that's a broad view about how to look at marketing and just, how to look at a budgeting and whatever you're doing. And we have also added here that whatever you're spending, how to look at the ROI, whether you'll be looking at from a short-term perspective or long-term perspective, because when you are allocating that budget, you are allocating all of this budget in current financial year, but the result will also come from next financial year and the financial year later. And similarly, some of the benefit you are getting from investment in your previous financial year also. So that is why we have given pointers also here. And what we have also done here is we have added SMEs, large and startup, what you should be doing differently if you are falling into any of this bracket. And we will not like to do it B2B and B2C here because the fundamentals remain the same. But for starting, building and mature phase, we will give you a percentage here. What type of percentage you should be spending for marketing and sales. Probably that will also give you a better perspective of how do you do it. So start with your top level view, how much budget is total available, then divide into what you want to achieve and which of this, if I have to achieve my total goal, which of this will help me in achieving it, depending on my phase, my industry, and etc. And then go into that particular area and go detail and design it, and then get into detailing of the media planning on it, then do few to and fro. If you are able to do this, you'll be in a complete control of your digital marketing and the higher chance of success. Nobody can guarantee the success, but if you have all of those things, your chances will increase drastically. And that is exactly what you want to achieve from any marketing and sales kind of an activity. I hope this session added some value to you. I'm open for question. If you have any queries, happy to answer. Do you have numbers for education and publishing industries? Yes, we can give you numbers for almost all industries. So please get in touch with Ivy. So she will be able to help you. And, we will also drop you our email address. And Ivy, can you drop your email address there and our WhatsApp number so that people can get in touch with you? And then we will be able to share most of these numbers with you. Should not be a problem. Okay. Because when we take up numbers associated with this, sometimes the numbers are, very in-depth and validated kind of a thing. Sometimes we do in a way, that may not be that much, in detail available kind of a section. Let me give you a small, like for example, in this, so we did a analysis of a diagnostics center. So in for diagnostics, we got so much details associated with this, that how much money they're spending in this kind of an area. And we were able to get all of these details, including their kind of the digital budget, that how much they're spending on Google advertisement, what is their total budget that they're spending, how many advertisement they're doing, and etc. So all of this detail, we were able to get it from a simulated manner. Okay. It is taken from different sources, and some of the sources are absolutely right because they only publish those kind of data and we can share it. So please do get in touch with the team. They will be able to add, and Ivy has shared the details. Can you please share a digital marketing calendar? Yeah, we'll be happy to share. But because, again, whatever we have done is at a concept level. When we make calendars for our clients, then what happens is everyone customizes it in different ways. So we'll be sharing 1 or 2 examples also with you. Hopefully that will also add additional value. Yeah, Gaurav, this webinar is of great value, but how come you are not charging for this? Okay. Certainly that's a good suggestion, Gaurav. By the way, we'll be launching something very big under our banner, Digital Marketing University. Again, the idea is not to charge a huge amount of money and things like that, but here we'll be launching something very soon, which will be kind of, end-to-end sessions for anybody who wants to become an expert in digital marketing. And you will get a very different level of training altogether here. So we are launching this. Soft launch is happening on the Valentine's Day, Feb 14, and from there we will be taking it forward, kind of a thing. Okay, so you can get in touch with Ivy to know more about those kind of areas. So we own digitalmarketinguniversity.com, so that is where we do. Okay, do we have a community or WhatsApp group? As of now, we don't have it. We will be starting in Discord. So we will also be sharing our Discord URL, so you can join our Discord and we can have discussions in Discord. All right. Yeah, that's more or less from our end. This video is available. This is my first time attending this. I have a lot of questions. I'll write to you. All right, Disha, please go ahead. You can write to Ivy, message, etc., and take it forward. Okay. It's like we will stay with Discord, not on a WhatsApp and Telegram and etc., because it becomes very difficult for us to take that up. Okay. Do you provide industry insight like this, the one you showed for PathLabs? Yes, if you can share those. In fact, how we work with our clients, we will be able to share a quick view about that also. That, generally what we do is, many of the clients that we work with, most of the time we work with them as a full end-to-end digital marketing, but there are many clients where they have internal team, they have some of their agencies. There, what we do is we do very detailed level of auditing for them. We do detailed level of research for them. We do these kind of strategy making for them. And then their team executes it, their agencies execute it. Sometimes we manage their KPI. Sometimes we create the dashboards for them and etc. And everyone who is attending here, what we will also be able to do is we can probably share an introduction slide for us that will give you a perspective of how we work. Okay, so what are our approaches? So these are areas where we contribute related to all of the activities that we do. And when we work as primary ownership level. We work with some semi-ownership, or some areas we take up, or we do co-ownership. That is exactly where we do auditing and related activity, and our audits are very, very detailed level of audits, and recently we have done an audit for a company, and it costed them a few lakh rupees to do that audit, but within one single audit, probably they're saving around 5 crore rupees annual budget. That is the amount of saving they will be doing with that one single audit. So we do such kind of things, and somewhere we do partial area of work and ownership also, and then external is where we do not take up any ownership related activities, but we do all of these audits and suggestions, and we just pass it on to them. They take it forward and implement it. But we generally work at an ownership level and take the business to the next level. So I hope this helps. How do you get customers in digital marketing business? By the grace of God, I'm real estate agent working alone. What should be marketing budget, and please send that specific questions. I will make sure that all of these questions are answered. And you get everything. All of this video recording and Excel sheet will be available to you, so don't worry. And all of our, you can go ahead and subscribe. Now what we have done is we have started, you can please go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because now what we have done is we have started sharing all of our videos on this channel, whereas previously we were not sharing it. Now we are sharing all of these channels related to it, and we will be sharing those Excel sheet as well. Okay. And how do you get customers in digital marketing business? See, we don't focus on getting customers for our business. What we focus on is do a lot of great work in terms of operation, improve it. My 80-85% of my time goes into operations improvement, team structure, all of those related activities. You'll be surprised to see how much work we do in terms of improving our operations. And because of that, when we do good work for our customers, one customer bring the other customer. When somebody leaves their company, goes to there, we get almost 70-80% of our customers through referrals. And then we do similar kind of webinars, or we do some advertisements and etc. And people also see us and come to us. But by the grace of God, we never struggled for sales or client and etc. We've been growing decent, and most focus is into operation. So I believe in creating product that is sustainable and that adds value, and then sales will never be a problem. Okay. So currently we are around, there are two digital teams that we have. So one is around 125 and another one is around 30-35. So total one, we have around 170 odd people right now. Yeah, and we have digital and the technology wing is much larger. So technology wing will be the INT. So technology wing will be in the range of around 600-650. So in total will be a much bigger operation when we look at all of those teams together. All right. So yeah, please. We do all type of tech. We do, many of the bank related application, insurance related application, all the tech related support that you required on the website to applications. And we are a product engineering team where we engineer your products related activities where you need digital transformation within your company, anything in that way. So we have clients where we do both, where we improve end-to-end operation for them, and we also take care of their end-to-end marketing. Yeah. So please get in touch with us if you have any kind of a query. Our team will be able to give you a demo of what all we do and how we add value. And our focus is very clear that add maturity, be very simple in our approach, provide high performance, and be very honest and never be afraid of losing a client. Then only you can be a good partner to your client. And we are not close to perfect. We are working very, very hard so that every month we are improving far better and etc. And we are one of the best. There is no doubt about it. But there are miles to cover before we can say that we have very, we don't make any mistake, or we give 100% success rate and etc. Or we have our own targets to achieve. We are working towards it, and a lot of hard work goes behind it. Yeah. So in this, you will have the LinkedIn link of mine, and as well as the company's LinkedIn, I will also be providing. So you can go through this. Okay. Yeah. So our office is we have office in Mumbai, we have office in Delhi, and we have office in Kolkata. So Kolkata is where most of our operation happens. That is the hub that we have. And we have an office in Chennai, where we operate from Chennai as well. So in Chennai, that's a backup unit for us. And most of our operation happens from Calcutta. And then we have servicing team across these 4 cities. And now recently we have started a small servicing office in Hyderabad also, because we have we have a lot of clients. Okay. Okay. And yeah, so team structure related, of course, there are team structure wise. It's again, that will take you a lot of, that will take up good amount of time if I have to go ahead and explain about my team structure as well. But I will be happy to share, because what we have is we have a 3-layer backup for all of our team members, and our team structure is very uniquely designed. Like we have a strategy team, which is supposed to give the direction. Then we have a project management team, which is supposed to manage the project. And within there, we have senior, junior, and etc. Then we have channel related 2 teams. One is reach channels and one is communication channels or communication team. So reach channel is SEO and PPC. We have department heads who take care of it. And then they have senior, junior kind of a thing. So we have a pod structure. So it's a very complicated team structure, but it works. In order to explain, it becomes sometimes complicated, but when people work, it becomes very smooth, and the ownership is equally divided among all of those people. And thus we are able to achieve a full funnel reach and full funnel communication as well. Happy to share those things as well sometimes in one of those webinars. Unfortunately, if I open it, because there will be a lot of numbers also there. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you for attending this session. Hopefully this added a lot of value to you, and stay in touch and we will take it forward from there. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.